Joining us this evening on what is going to be the impact of the Prime Minister's speech in the new year on the urban and the rural poor, the farm sector and other sections of the society, I am joined by Power, Non-Renewable Energy and Coal Minister Piyush Goyal, who joins me live from Mumbai. Mr. Piyush Goyal, huge announcements coming in from the Prime Minister, but the opposition still says that it was a headline speech, not a deadline speech on when the woes of the common people would end as far as withdrawal of their own money from banks is concerned.
Navika ji, first of all, may I wish you, your family and your viewers and their families a very, very prosperous new year. I'm sure this new year is going to be wonderful for all the honest people of India. As regards the Prime Minister's address, I think it was very, very nice of him to come out and thank the people of India, thank the people for their support, their unstinted support in his fight against black money, against corruption, against fake notes being used for terror and drug financing. And truly, all of us are very grateful that the nation stood behind him in this colossal task, never attempted before. And we saw the whole period pass on without any untoward incident. By now, the lines and all have almost gone. We are coming to near normalcy. The next few weeks, I'm sure, situation will fast move to complete normalcy. One very big thing that the Reserve Bank announced was also the increase in draw limits to 4,500, and that was largely based on the assessment that pre-demonetization, the average value of an ATM transaction never exceeded between 3 and 3,600 rupees. So really we've taken care that nobody gets inconvenience, and I'm given to understand that a larger number of ATMs are going to start operating soon. The Prime Minister today took the opportunity to thank the nation, to appreciate their sacrifices, and also to assuage those sections of society who got who got affected during this period. I think it was an all-encompassing effort to revitalize the economy, give an opportunity to the people who want to go towards the formal economy, be more honest in their trade and business, in their taxes, give them a chance to turn legitimate, recognize that monies they may have deposited would now not be available for the business, so allowing them to use increased credit limits, requesting the banks to ensure that nobody is inconvenienced for lack of funds in their business, recognizing that in a falling interest rate scenario, senior citizens should be protected and their income should be protected. So government has come out with a scheme where we will pay the 8% monthly interest, which is not a burden on the bank, but the government is taking it on. And housing, which is something which has the potential to completely revitalize steel, cement, jobs, all sectors of the economy, has been given an unprecedented push. So almost every citizen of this country can now afford, through lower EMIs, to afford or to buy his own house, so that by 2022, our dream that every citizen has an affordable home can be fulfilled. So I think it's a wonderful gesture. It's an outstanding gift, New Year gift to the people of India. And I must place on record that a grateful nation today will acknowledge that the Prime Minister has rewarded them for their patience. As far as the opposition's criticism, you know, even if he brought the moon and the stars on the ground, the opposition would have chosen to criticize. But the fact is that they are completely clueless at the huge support the people have given this effort to clean the country. Probably they are not happy about it, given their track record of 10 years in government full of corruption and scams. So I think the opposition can keep demanding deadlines. The people are demanding a deadline from the opposition when they will put an end to their corruption and their corrupt practices.
All right. Mr. Piyush Goyal, the other concern that many people had, that there are several sectors, especially in the informal sector and sectors like leather, textiles and metals, where there were problems. The less cash society did cause some problems in transactions, and therefore demand being less, there were a lot of layoffs and loss of jobs as well in these sectors. Do you think something could have been done more for these sectors that were facing these problems specifically ever since remonetization had been announced?
Madam, one very, very important dimension of the entire exercise was that the unorganized labor, a lot of which you mentioned, the weavers, the people in leather industry, the unorganized labor was never getting their fair share of wages. This government a few months ago had increased the minimum wages by 42%. We have made it compulsory that healthcare benefits should be available to the laborer's entire family. Provident fund should be paid so they get social security. Now, isn't it only fair that through this effort, through the collective effort of the nation, the unorganized sector labor also gets their fair share of wages? Their family gets healthcare, social security. Now, cash not being available may have caused a temporary disruption. But the idea is to move these businesses towards, as the finance minister said, the new normal, a more honest economy, an economy where everybody recognizes their income and pays taxes, announces their business turnover. I think that process is a change in mindset, may take a little while, but trading and manufacturers who are at the smaller level of business, up to 2 crores, have been given comfort in terms of higher availability of banking limits more easily and recognition of their cash deposits so that they can move from the informal economy into the formal economy. We have assured them that we'll not do a post-mortem of the past. We'll allow them to move into the formal and honest economy as long as they pay their taxes. And this will ultimately help the entire country. These increased taxes will help us serve the poor, the deprived and marginalized sections of society better. It will help us serve the farmers better. Traders will also get a level playing field where they compete not on corruption or not on their ability to evade taxes, but they compete on quality of service and quality of goods. I think it augurs well for the nation. I would appeal to you and all your viewers, start insisting on a bill wherever you go to purchase anything. Start insisting on a bill from all your service providers, be they a doctor, a lawyer, anybody whose help you take or whose assistance you require. If the entire nation joins in this effort, just like they joined in the last 50 days, I'm very confident this nation has got a bright future ahead of us, an honest 2017 at the 100th anniversary of the Champaran Satyagraha.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, I've asked you this question before, but it's also something that has been raised by the opposition today. In several parts of the country, there is no power. There is definitely, when there is no power, there cannot be the question of internet. Do you think this move of moving to a digital and a less cash economy would have been better when at least the entire country was completely electrified and could have the option of going through payments through the net and other such means?
Madam, incidentally, the one thing must be made clear that it's not as if cash is finished in the market. We are introducing more and more cash, and today it's thank you, Navika ji. But really, we have moved more and more into a situation where there's adequate currency in the market, but we're also encouraging people to go towards banking channels and digital channels. So wherever there is a problem of internet connectivity, which also we have urged the telecom companies to fast expand. Today, spectrum is not an issue. Telecom companies have confirmed that they have enough spectrum. I'm told that Vodafone, Airtel, Idea, BSNL, all are working to take 3G beyond the 65% of India which already has it. You know that I've been working to electrify every village. Now in the entire country, there are barely 6,000 odd villages where electricity has not reached. And I'm committed to do that in the next few months. Having said that, we recognize that while this parallel process of taking power to every home, making sure internet works seamlessly across the country is a parallel process. But one can't always wait for a chicken and egg. You wait for one thing, then somebody will raise another problem. You finish, you sort that out, somebody will raise a third problem. I think all of these things dovetail and can work parallelly, so that wherever it's not possible, certainly cash will be allowed. Gradually, of course, normal banking also will start. But I think the nation today is moving towards a more honest nation. And particularly you and I, who have been paying our taxes and having felt jilted about those who never paid their taxes honestly or fully, but enjoyed a better lifestyle. I think it's a day of celebration for the honest. As I said earlier, ईमानदार का सम्मान और बेईमान का नुकसान. और मुझे लगता है कि देश के 125 करोड़ लोग इस बात से बहुत बड़े मात्रा में खुश हैं.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, the other question that was raised by a panelist on our show just a short while ago, Mr. D. Raja, your colleague in the Rajya Sabha from the CPI, he said the 6,000 rupees that would be transferred to every pregnant woman's bank account, that scheme is part of the Food Security Act. So is it old wine in new bottles that is being presented by the government?
Well, I don't think so. Right now, that scheme allows about 4,000 rupees, and it's a pilot in 53 districts. The Honorable Prime Minister said it also. Probably Mr. D. Raja, in his enthusiasm to pick holes, did not hear the Honorable Prime Minister's speech in toto. Now it's been extended to every district, some 653 districts in the whole country, and the amount has been increased to 6,000 rupees. So I do wish, instead of trying to understand the entire thing, one should not criticize for the sake of criticism. The bigger picture here is that different sections of society and their individual issues, their individual concerns have been addressed, and I must thank the Prime Minister for the detail in which he has done his study, his homework to study which are the pain points in the economy. The housing announcement is truly extraordinary. Navika ji, talk to any economist. The fact that a person who owns a home improves his family life, improves his quality of living dramatically is very well known. And to afford a home, if the EMI becomes much more affordable, today everybody, your cameraman, your clap boy, everybody in the country will be in a position to afford his own home. The interest subvention scheme will help the people own a home over 20-25 years of EMIs. At the same time, it will rejuvenate the industry, rejuvenate business. It will give a boost to steel, cement, new jobs. I don't know if you recall, in NDA 1, in Mr. Vajpayee's government, the maximum job creation happened out of the real estate and infrastructure sector. So Minister Gadkari is giving a big boost to infrastructure. Minister Prabhu is giving a big boost to railways. And now with this boost to rural and urban housing, I think we have an economic revival and an economic boost that will be unparalleled in India's history.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, also an indication to the banks being given there that with the excess money that has come into banks now, would interest rates be necessarily dropping, and would that be another area where we'll see a revving up of the economy, more investments coming in?
Very clearly, and you hit the nail right, ma'am, Navika ji. The fact is that when CASA deposits, the current account and savings bank account deposits, rise dramatically, and in this 50-day period they've risen by probably over 10 lakh crores. In such a situation, the marginal cost of lending, MCLR it is called, of the banks will naturally fall, and that fall they will pass on to the consumers. It's a phenomena which has already started. I believe IDBI Bank, State Bank have already announced lower interest rates. And this is something which augurs very well for the nation, for the small traders, small business persons. It will give a boost to the investment climate. It will give a boost to infrastructure investments. Falling interest rates with protection given to the senior citizens on their savings is an ideal situation for a booming economy.
Okay, Mr. Piyush Goyal, on that note, of course, we'll have to wait and watch how the people really respond to the remonetization and the announcements by the Prime Minister in the Uttar Pradesh elections, because you've been claiming victory in a lot of civic poll results that have come from across several states, but it is really the big test in Uttar Pradesh that will determine, and it's also an indication that if the opposition doesn't let you answer any questions in Parliament, then maybe this probably is the best way to address the country and keep them on track as far as sharing the vision for the movement of this government is concerned. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Piyush Goyal. We wish you and your family a very happy new year.